Lindsay with Tuned In Press. I'm here with Jaret from Bowling for Soup. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm on this couch that's like really, really far back, so it looks like I'm really, really comfortable right now, but I'm just trying to suck in my gut.
But you look great.
Thank you.
Great.
I appreciate that.
So you guys were recently touring in South Africa. How was it going over there?
It was awesome. The shows were amazing. The travel was brutal. We did 60 hours on airplanes and 30 hours in a minivan in a week.
Oh,
for
my
4
gosh.
shows. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was brutal. I mean, it was like we got home and and you know, we're not young, so I mean, we got home and it like felt like our bodies, all of us, were just constantly texting all day, like, "Are you guys still sore? I'm still sore." You know, just old man thread. You know.
So had you guys been over there before, or was that kind of like a first time thing for going there?
It's first time. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, it's funny. I've been telling people like, "God, that's so cool. You got to go," and it's like, for us. We don't really expect a lot of new experiences. Like, we won't go somewhere just to go. It's hard for us to do that these days because, you know, we've got kids and dogs and mortgages and, you know, life's here. Like, I mean, you know, Gary and I both do other things besides the band. So it's, you know, we can't just be gone to be gone. So when that opportunity came up, you know, at first it was like, you know, we'll show you guys a great time, you know, yada yada. Then they we ended up getting these shows where we couldn't say no. I mean, we were headlined 4 festivals over there.
Wow.
And one of them was like 11,000 people, which, you know, you've never been to a country before and you're playing in front of 11,000 people that know, they know the words to every single song. Like, it was pretty crazy. So 2 of my favorite shows I've ever played happened on that trip. So
wow.
It was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some of the Instagram videos and stuff where people were just like rocking out. I was like, wow, they actually have a huge fan base over there. And
you know, I guess you just never know. You know, it's funny because it's like you get, we think we know where we're big and the places where we haven't been. So we think like Indonesia, Brazil would be similar markets, but you don't know till you get there. You know, and but yeah, it was great fun. We got treated really great, and you know. We didn't get pulled out of the van, and it wasn't set on fire, and you know, so that's a plus.
Did you guys do anything kind of besides the shows outside of that for fun? We
didn't. When we got there, the one touristy thing we were gonna get to do was go to a rhinoceros rescue place. We were just too tired, and it was like that first day. We were like, man, we've got to go get something. So, it very interesting for Bowling for Soup actually, because we were kind of known for if nothing else, raising hell and, you know, drinking and all that. But we literally just slept every time we could because, again, we were moving all day every day, you know, in some different direction, some sort of vehicle. But, and the biggest thing they have on the roads there are these little minivans. They're all the same. You don't ever see anything bigger than that. It's really weird. Yeah, it's a good time though.
So what's it like, I know you're from Texas, right?
We are.
Originally. So what's it like kind of going from that and coming back to your home state and playing all the shows and stuff here?
Well, it's always good to play at home. I mean, but we're used to traveling. I mean, it's, you know, our biggest market is the United Kingdom. And that we do better in even other American cities than we do in our home city of Dallas. But it is nice. It's nice to come back and play. You know, it's nice to be here in Houston because we'll see so many friendly faces. I mean, we've been playing Houston since we started.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're about to celebrate 24 years. So it's nice. It's good to be home. Different kind of show, but again, it's also nice to be back in a tour bus and have Uber Eats and American beer and
nice things handy.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
Everything's just convenient here in the States. Like, something is always open 24 hours a day, you know, like everything's just accessible in the U.S. And so we're a spoiled nation for sure. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way. Like, we deserve it, you know, but it is. It's nice to be home.
Yeah. So the other thing I saw, I think it was a few days ago, you were part of the Oklahoma Songwriter Festival, right? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
I was, yeah. Thank you for knowing that. That's really cool. My friend Zach Malloy was in this band called the Nixons, and he since actually became just a songwriter after that. And in fact, co-wrote some Bowling for Soup songs that ended up doing really, really well, and really kind of helped him establish himself as a songwriter in Nashville. And since then, he's gone to like score like Carrie Underwood and Blake Shelton, and some
Wow.
really, really cool songs. So he had this festival. It was the 3rd year, and I was a special guest, and we did a writing session with a local artist, got split up into groups. We did a couple of panels where we just talked about songwriting and publishing and things like that, and then played a big show. And really funnily, played the same show we did it last Saturday, that I'm playing on Sunday with Bowling for Soup. So you know, I was telling everybody I'm doing a residency. That we're just
Basically.
yeah, but it was good. It was a lot of fun. Really, really cool to meet aspiring songwriters and aspiring songwriters of all ages too. Like, it was really cool because there were some people that were like, one guy approached me. He was a retired police officer, and he's like wanting to write songs, and I'm like, why not?
Not what I would have expected.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm just like, why not? He was just like, if I pay for the studio time, would you write with me? I'm like, why? Yeah, sure. I don't care. Like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So I had a really great time, and it was nice to spend some time with Zach, and the other songwriters there were pretty heavy hitters, so it was good company for sure.
So is this something that's like an annual thing, as far as you know?
Yeah, it's called Oklahoma Songwriters Festival, and it happens every year in Oklahoma City, and it's growing and growing, so super cool.
Okay, so people can definitely check that out.
For sure, yeah, and especially if you live in Oklahoma or around Oklahoma, it's really cool because it is centered around trying to help Oklahoma songwriters and get them, out there and being more productive and all that. Oklahoma is spending a lot of money to try to get movies shot there and trying to help musicians and things like that. So it's definitely something really, really cool. So look for it next year for sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure after this kind of tour that you're doing, the next step for you is Warped Tour, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's I've got a couple of things between now and then, but for the most part, Warped Tour.
How are you feeling about Warped and it coming to an end? And
I think everybody's got their theories. For me, I think I look at it like this. I mean, Kevin Lyman's done it for 24 years.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same tour if he weren't there the whole time, and those summers are brutal. I can't imagine doing it 24 years in a row. He's out on the road for 2.5 months, and it's a lot, man. So I would assume that that and just an ever-changing music scene in the world, I think it probably does make sense to take the brand elsewhere. We did the Warped Tour cruise this past year.
I wish I could have gone on
that.
That looked amazing.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was really, really cool. And so I think he'll do more stuff like that. But it's bittersweet. I said this in another interview today. Like, I'm sad to see it go, and I'm going to miss it because I miss the camaraderie and just that access to your fans and stuff. Mm-hmm. That's all great, but I will not miss the heat.
No one will.
It is brutal, and it's brutal for people to go one day, but if you're there for multiple weeks, it really does start to it just drains you. But again, it sounds like I'm complaining a lot, but I'm not. I'm just telling you like it is.
But Texas weather is also super brutal.
Texas weather's brutal, but man, Phoenix and and you people think of Florida as being awesome. Florida sucks. It's so humid.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the air, you can't breathe when you're down there in like the Orlando area and stuff. I mean, it's bad. So, and other cities are misleadingly hot. I think one of the hottest ones we ever did was in Kansas City. It was so hot that like the gear was literally sinking in the asphalt in the parking lot we were playing in. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, so yeah, I'm not.
See, Phoenix, I would have expected. I wouldn't have expected Kansas City.
It just happened to be one of those years, And Las Vegas, holy crap, that one sucks too.
But also that city is misleading because I feel like it's super hot in the day and then cold at night.
Yeah.
So depending on when you're playing, it could be a win or lose situation.
Man. And the other thing about Las Vegas is that, and it always is like that, the buses park like a mile and a half away from the park.
Get your pre-workout in.
Oh my God. Okay. And like, so it's just like, just looking for a bathroom is brutal. So it's, but anyway, I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss my friends. Like, and when I say friends, I mean like the bands are awesome. The crew is awesome. It's just, it's a family out there. Everybody's in it together, helping each other. And, but I'm glad we got one last go of it. We're doing 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And, some good markets, some good Bowling for Soup markets, and it'll be good.
And hopefully not too hot.
Man.
You're like, but it will be.
Yeah, I know. It's just fun. And it's some bands do it in vans, and I'm like,
yeah.
Luckily for us, the first year we ever did it was 2003, and that was the year that we got Girl the Bad Guys Want blew up, and we got on a bus that year.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if we would have done that in a van if we would have ever went back, but we went back the next year.
God bless the bands and the vans.
I know. But the thing they have to look at it, usually they're really young and hungry, and it is a big learning experience. Warped Tour is like boot camp for bands. You learn so much, and the hustle is such that like, it really will. It'll make or break bands just because you find out, hey, is this really what I want? Do I want to work for this or no?
Yeah, I don't remember which band it was. I saw some video where I guess their van had broken down, and then they had to get like a U-Haul and still make it there, and then I think they used the U-Haul the rest of the time because the van was just like trash.
That kind of stuff happens all the time. We had one time they have a band every year that drags like a huge barbecue, and that's what they do to get on the tour. They don't even know if they're going to get to play every day. They're called the Barbecue Band. They take tips every night, and then every night they go shopping the next day, and they cook food for burgers and dogs for everybody the next day. And it's every single day. And again, they don't even. But one time, a couple of years ago, that the barbecue wasn't completely out, and it caught fire while they were driving, and it burned their whole van down. Like they lost everything. No. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awful.
Super bad. So we did some. Everybody kind of pitched in, raised some money to help them out, and but yeah, so shit happens for sure.
Yeah. So I know Drunk Dynasty kind of came out a few years back, but I'm going to ask you a few questions. I know that was your 13th studio album. Do you feel like it differs a lot from your other 12, or what kind of differences do you feel like there are?
I really wanted to sort of throw back to like the Drunk Enough to Dance days, and not just in title, but I wanted it to be more of just like 4-chord, like riffy, songs about girls, and so I think I accomplished that. I mean, Lunch Drunk Love was a little bit of a departure for us because I was going through my divorce. I was really pissed off, and there's a lot of angry stuff on there, and I was like really into just like creating different sort of riffs than what we were used to doing, not just like the octave stuff. So I wanted to go back, and so yeah, I think we accomplished it, and it was great. I mean, it started out to just be an EP, and we got in, we did the first 6 songs, and I was like, I'm in the zone. Give me 2 more weeks, I'll write the rest of this record, and then let's come back in here and record it. And that's what we did.
So you were in a pretty good mindset then.
I was in a really, really good spot then. Yeah, I'm on fire right now too. So it's been like I'm writing a record with Kelly Dollyrot's on this tour right now, but we're doing a duets record. We've written 15 songs for that, and
okay, cool.
And then the other band that's on this tour I actually manage. They're called Not Your Girlfriends, and we're writing their new EP as well. And so yeah, I'm kind of in the zone right now. So I people keep asking like, what's the next thing? Y'all gonna do a covers record or this? And maybe I need to sit down and write some BFS song.
Yeah, that is interesting to hear because I was going to ask you about that. I know you said you're going to kind of combine with the Dollyrots, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you did that other one with them and Pat and Pending a while back.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, One Big Happy.
Was real fun.
Oh yeah,
sure.
They're awesome. They're like our little brothers. We love them to death, and we've been through a lot together. It's been awesome. So yeah, that was a fun record we did around a tour called One Big Happy.
Yeah.
And we each covered each other's. Everybody covered one song from the other band.
Okay.
And then did one original. So
yeah,
and that's still.
Y'all should go back on tour with them. I would totally come to that.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Joe about it a lot. It's he just had twins.
I know. I see
and
that.
So he's got his hands full right now. We'll see what happens.
Just a little full.
Right.
It's just twins. It's not like.
Well, he already had a little baby at home too. So like the poor guy.
So there's that.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm never sleeping again, But it's fun to give parenting advice to all these new dads out there,
Yeah.
It's because my oldest is 15, so she was literally born the day we got nominated for the Grammy for Girl Back as One. It was like, that's a big day.
That is a big day.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you. I definitely know some people in my life, and I like the song "Don't Be a Dick" a lot.
Right.
What kind of inspired that song for you?
Really, it was sort of like one of those things where it was almost Facebook based, It's just like I think people and everybody knows this, but everybody's got such a big voice when they're on social media, you know, and they'll say anything, and then they can hide behind the fact that they can turn their computer off or whatever, and not have to face any of the repercussions, or you know, how they can damage people, and you know, and people think. I mean, I've gained a bunch of weight over the last 4 years, and people can be really mean. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, people can be really fucking mean, you know, and you know, I had some medical stuff going on that helped that, but also, you know, I ate a lot of pizza and drank a lot of beer. But I'm famous.
YOLO.
You know, whatever. But yeah, I mean, people can be really mean, and that wasn't really the inspiration behind that. I got off, but it's just an example of, you know, just how mean people can be. And it's like, I just don't really understand that. I've never had that in me. I don't think I've ever been mean to someone on purpose in my life, and I'm 46. Like, I just don't understand it. Like, what's the point? Like, it doesn't make you feel better, and if it does, then you're a psychopath, you know? Like, it's silly. So anyway, that was the whole thing. I was just like, man, why can't everybody just be nice, you know? And so that was pretty much that. I mean, it wasn't based upon any, like, one person or anything, but more so just that whole, like, every time you turn, you know, somebody's in a spat on the internet or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, you know, give it up.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about the internet, it kind of reminds me with, like, teen bullying and stuff, too, because there's so many kids who are just getting bullied online. And,
you know, it's crazy because it's, you know, I mean, that's in my life now because, you know, my kids, you know, again, they're, especially my teenagers, you know, the 15 and 12, they don't necessarily get bullied, but they know kids that do.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always try to instill in them, you know, take the high road, you know, like, be there for that kid. Even if you don't really care for the kid or whatever, like, it's still not right.
Yeah.
You know, so step in, be a hand. They're quick-witted like me. Just solve it with words. You know, you can shut somebody down, you know, easily. My wife told my daughter, somebody was actually making fun of her last name, because our last name is Reddick, and if you divide the two words, it's Reddick. And so somebody was making fun of her name, and my wife told her to say to the person, you know, when other people talk about that thing you do with your mouth all the time, I just ignored it and I took up for you or whatever, but you know, I'm just not gonna step in anymore. Yeah. And she's just like, that girl for the rest of her life will wonder what the thing she does with her mouth is. Oh yeah.
Like, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is the thing that I do with my mouth?
She basically ruined that girl.
Exactly. That's just like, that's the most brilliant thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah. You know? Then, you know, if you can always tell her in high school, hey, I was just kidding.
Yeah, when they go back for the high school reunion.
Sure.
By the way, there's nothing that you do.
Yeah. Just you know, she's like a serial killer. If you were still
worried about it.
She's a volunteer at the zoo, can't make ends meet.
Gosh.
You know, like.
So the other thing I was going to ask you, when you guys were first starting out forever ago, do you feel like you had a pretty positive group of people, or do you feel like you had a lot of negativity that you pushed through? What kind of stuff did you go through in the beginning?
It was tough for us because we were living in Wichita Falls, Texas, and even in Dallas there were no bands that sounded like us. I mean, we sounded like we were from California. You know, we were in essence helping to create this genre that would become pop punk, you know, so it's like all of us are sort of growing up, you know, Blink and then later Sum 41, and all of us are sort of like in our corners, sort of like ripping off the same bands to sort of, you know, everybody's listening to the Ramones and the Descendants and even Green Day to develop this genre, and there was nobody like us. So we had to leave Wichita Falls really fast because we could not draw a picture. I mean, like, we could not. Nobody came to see us, and so we moved to Denton, and it happened really, really fast. Mm-hmm. Denton just embraced us, and the shows were sold out within just a couple of months. And then Denton's so close to Dallas that it sort of snowballed there, and then, you know, other markets around Texas started happening, and so Texas was just really, really great to Bowling Pursuit early. Like, we were already drawing in San Angelo and Abilene and Lubbock and Houston and Austin, and Corpus Christi was awesome for us. So we could sort of tour around here for a few weeks, make enough money to then just go out and go play to nobody all over the country, come back here, do it again, and do it again and again and again. This is back in the day where you had to be in a van and go out there and slug it out. But the positivity was within ourselves, you know. It was just that we knew that we had something, and we knew also that we were living the best years of our lives, and it was talked about all the time that, like, you know what, whatever happens, like, it doesn't matter if it gets to the next level, and everything's a bonus because we're having a blast.
Yeah.
And it's kind of still like that, you know, like, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
We're having a blast. I mean, if you've ever seen us live, you know, like, we're up there entertaining ourselves most of the time. Mm-hmm. And like there are moments where, like, I like, we haven't played a song in like 10 minutes. Like, we're up here just like cracking each other up, you know? So it's, but back to your question. Not a lot of negativity, not a lot of positivity either. I mean, we earned it.
Yeah.
We did. You know, and every band that has ever toured with us will tell you, you know, back then they were like, you guys are crazy, you tour way too much, you know, like, but they'll, you know, from local bands to famous bands will let you know that Bowling for Soup was the hardest working band in the day.
Was there one band that you felt like, maybe back when you were more of an opener kind of band, that you're like, oh, this has been a great tour for us, this really gave us a leg up?
Well, here's what's wacky. We actually only supported 2 bands ever.
Really?
3. One in the UK, 2 in the US, ever in the history of and one of them, we were opening up for a punk band called, I'm going to think of it in a minute. But anyway, we actually pulled off the tour halfway through because our song started to hit and the label wanted us doing radio shows. So 10-foot pole, that's who it was.
Okay.
And so everything was fine. It was friendly and all that, but we just always were kind of on our own. But a lot of local bands helped us in the Dallas area. I mean, there was a local band, rap rock band actually, called Beef Jerky, that gave us all of our first shows. And like, here's this pop punk band that tells jokes and sings really pretty, playing with this rap rock band. But all the rap rock fans liked us because we were funny.
Yeah.
And then what happened is we got basically service industry people started coming to our shows because all the bartenders laughed at our jokes and they were the only ones in the room sometimes. And once we got a hold of the service industry people, then you essentially have like a street team, and you know, and so yeah, it kind of blew up. But you know, a few bands around at that time, the Nixons were great to us, and yeah, it was fun, good time.
So the next thing I was going to ask you, do you have like a special like life motto, like something you personally live by that's like important to you that you'd want to share?
It's a super cheesy, but I just be a good person. I tell that to my kids all the time. Just be a good person, you know, like don't be a dick.
Yeah.
You know, just tell the truth, you know, like just don't be an asshole. Like, and it just is amazing how far that gets you. Like, I have the benefit of being able to say I don't have any enemies in the world. Not one. Like, I don't burn bridges. You know, I mean, and it's because I'm just nice, you know, and to my detriment sometimes. My wife and my friends tell me I'm too nice all the time. My band tells me I'm too nice. But you know, I mean, I can be a little bit of a tiger business-wise when I need to be, but for the most part, I hold it together.
I still handle business.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm the CEO of all things.
Okay.
And you know, I don't take any shit, but I'm nice when I do it.
Yeah. So, kind of speaking of the kiddos, how do they feel about your music? Like, what do they think of the song?
This is an interesting time to ask me this question.
Okay. I mean, because they're teenagers, right?
Well, yeah, so my kids are 15, 12, and 5.
Okay.
Right? And the 15 and 12-year-old, this has been a part of their life the whole time.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just never been a big deal. Mm-hmm. So their friends freak out about the Phineas and Ferb thing, or the fact that I'm the voice of Chuck E. Cheese and things like that. But they're all just like, whatever. But it's really, really weird that you would ask me this today, because Emma, my 15-year-old, just like in the last month started listening to Bowling for Soup.
Okay.
Tells me all these songs she likes, whatever. And then they were staying at their mom's. I'm a 50-50 parent, so 1 week on, 1 week off with my ex-wife. And on their mom's nights, came to my show last night in Dallas, stood on the side of the stage, sang every word, just rocking out and all that. And it was just like, you know, it was the first time that they had really just watched a show and were like way into it, not just like there to be seen or whatever. So I do think that they think it's neat. You know, I think that my son, my 12-year-old doesn't tiptoe around it. He'll just he'll be like, one time a guy started talking to my wife, and my son goes, "That's my stepmom. She's married to my dad. He's famous." And so it was just,
okay.
I mean, he just like, yep, just right there. Like he'll just tell somebody, "Yeah, my dad's famous."
I'm pretty cool.
And so yeah. So, but Emma really she's never used it to gain friends or get herself out of a mess or anything. But so yeah, she's digging it these days.
So next thing, where do you guys do all of your recording? Do you go out of state for that, or are you able to do that in the Denton area?
We can do it in the Denton area. We go to a studio and do drums, and then we do everything else at my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a special space kind of made up for that?
I do. I have a studio in my house where I can record. I do all the Not Your Girlfriend stuff there too. Mm-hmm. I do Chuck E. Cheese there. I did Phineas and Ferb there while that was going on.
That's partying.
I do my podcast. Jaret Goes to the Movies is done there. So I mean, it's nothing special. It's a small room that just has a really good computer and a little bit of gear and just make it. It's just all about the performance to me. Like I'm not like a big gearhead. I don't have a super expensive microphone or 20 amps or anything like that.
Not tech nerdy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm so not a gear guy. I just got a new guitar from Ernie Ball, and a guy asked me yesterday what kind it was, and I actually honestly don't know. I really do not know the answer to the question.
You're like a guitar.
And I'm going to play it on stage later, and I still have no idea what model it is. I don't know. It's not. It's not my thing. I don't care.
As long as it works.
100%.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like our guitar tech will be like, "Hey, do you mind?" We use Mesa Boogie exclusively, and he'll come and just be like, "Hey, the rental company brought up Marshall. Do you care? Because Chris won't use it." Like, I don't care. Just put it on the thing. And
is he more picky about like what brands?
He is, yeah. Oh, Chris is he works on his sound every single day.
Yeah.
I plug into my guitar and start playing. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Chris is very much on his sound and and we're super simple, but and his guitar and his tone and stuff like that, I don't care.
You're like, as long as it works and everything sounds right, just plug it in.
If there's distortion that enough to where it sounds like I'm pretty good, I'm fine.
Yeah. And your kid will still be like, my dad's still famous.
100%. Yeah. Doesn't matter what amp I use. He still will tell you I'm famous.
All right. So next thing, so with performing, do you have a favorite old hit that you like playing?
I love all the hits. I like playing Almost a lot.
Okay.
I love playing Ohio, Come Back to Texas, but there's bands out there, and we've known a lot of them that hate their hit songs. Mm-hmm. They hate the fact that people scream out the same song after every song because that's why they're there. Man, A, you can shut that down just by acknowledging it. But secondly, why would you not like the song that everybody is there to sing?
Yeah.
I just have never understood that. People are like, do you get sick of playing 1985? I'm like, would you get sick of playing 1985?
Yeah.
If you played that every night and then the crowd sang every word to every song. So I'm partial to all of the. I like playing the hits. I
wouldn't have written the song if I hated it so much.
Yeah.
So
it's and we're so lucky because we've been around so long that if we do an hour and a half show, it's predominantly all singles, and most of them are bona fide. Could be considered hits,
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're really lucky. We don't really have to ever discuss the set list. It's just I throw one or two surprises in for them every night to keep the band on their toes, and then we just go from there.
So what do you feel has kind of kept you guys strong as a band for so long? Do you guys hang out a lot when you're not touring, with your families together and stuff? Or
me and Gary and our families hang out all the time. Mm-hmm. Eric and Chris just lead different lives. Chris is single, and he's neither of them have kids. I mean, Eric has a 23-year-old kid, but they don't have little kids. Mm-hmm. And Chris is single. They're both single now, and they live together. But I don't know. We just don't really. We do hang out from time to time.
Yeah.
And when we're on tour, we're always all four together.
So that's your time to always be
But
together.
when we're home, they just have different interests than me and Gary do. Again, they can go out to bars and see bands and do all that stuff all the time. And then me and Gary are more like, do you want to meet for happy hour today before we have to go pick the kids up from karate? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So me and Gary are together all the time, and our families are together all the time. But no, I mean, what's kept us together is persistence, perseverance, supporting one another.
Yeah.
When life got rough a few years ago, rather than tear the band down and let it creep into this, Eric was going through divorce and we took a break.
Yeah.
And it was the smartest. I mean, man, I've made a lot of really good decisions, but that was a good one. Because we came back and it's just, we're like way better. I don't know how that's possible because we were already so good. But the second thing is there's a new spark and and it hasn't stopped, So that was like 2013. We took a little bit of a break, and since then we've just been on fire. Yeah. And I mean, like, our live show's better. Like, people who've been watching us for 20 years see us now, and they're like, I don't know how it's possible that you guys have like actually gotten better, that means a lot, because we used to jump off shit, and we were young and spry. I can't jump off anything now, so I'll fall. I'll break a hip, or tear a meniscus again. So it's but that's been the main thing, is just being there for one another. Knowing when somebody needs a hug and when they need a kick in the ass. And, there's way more hugs than kicks in the ass, though.
Yeah. All right, so we're almost done. I just had a few fun questions for you.
All right.
Was or is there really the girl the bad guys want?
So the song "Girl of the Bad Guys Want" was really supposed to be about the dude.
Okay.
So me and Butch Walker were joking for weeks about writing a song about the guys that were mad at their dad, and because it was all of these like really sad, mad at your dad rock bands at the time, Stained and Limp Bizkit, the ones that we make fun of in the video. That kind of music was so big at the time. It was just like, God, everybody's so pissed off at their father, So we thought to take a funny spin on it, but it ended up turning into being more about the girl. I guess kind of accidentally. I mean, it just flowed that way. And that happens. Me and Kelly wrote a song just the other day, actually, and literally had this concept, talked about this concept for 30 minutes, started writing the song, and literally never retouched back on that concept. It was a completely different song by the time we were done.
I mean, it's a hit, though.
That's just what happens. Yeah, exactly. Well, and so no girl. It's more about the guy.
If you were to rewrite another song, but instead of 1985, it was 2005, what do you think that song would be like?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I guess we would just talk about now that, like,
a lot's changed.
A lot has changed, because there's definitely no music on MTV, but there's actually, it's like, I guess one of the lines would be like, what's a CD player? Like, where's the whatever? I wrote a line in a song that I did, and I want to reuse it because the song never came out. But it's just, whatever happened to payphones? Like, where the hell are payphones now? Like, they're taking them out of the airports. Like, they're just, I mean, there's like they're nowhere anymore. But it's like that, and it just seems like it happens so fast. But yeah, I think it would be more of just like, I mean, I think the state of music is fine. And I can tell you why, because my kids are way into music, and though I'm not crazy about what they listen to, it's still music, I mean, it's still, at least people still have that,
Yeah.
Again, not my cup of tea, but, I don't know, I don't mind it.
I mean, you have people of all ages here, though, tonight.
We are so blessed in that, I mean, #blessed Taylor Swift. We are so blessed because our crowd has always been the spectrum of age. Like, I mean, in England, there's 3 generations and 4 generations coming to our shows now. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, because if you, some of their kids are having kids now. Yeah. So, it's a pretty broad spectrum. I love it, and I think it's pretty easy to know why. I mean, we were on rock radio for a while, and then we had a pop hit, and then we were on a cartoon, and then we were on Radio Disney with 1975 and Punk Rock 101. So we've been playing a lot of colleges lately, and that makes sense because 9 years ago, all those college kids got introduced to Phineas and Ferb. You know what I mean? And so it's like, we play that song and people just go crazy. Well, also their parents were listening to 1985, and like, we were always the band. My agent says this great. He goes, "You're that band that all of those kids, their parents let them get that album, even though you cursed on every song because they liked the music." And it's very, very true. Like, you just see, it's like, you're the reason me and my dad even get along, because we have your band in common. So I like that. It's good.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't mind that.
All right, well, is there anything you want to say to fans or viewers?
First of all, thanks for watching this. I actually did end up being very comfortable. So at the first of the interview, when I said I wasn't as comfortable as I looked, I feel pretty good. Check out my podcast, please. Jaret Goes to the Movies. Just pick a movie that you like and go listen to it, and share this interview with your friends.
Yeah, for sure. This has been Lindsay with Tuned In Press. You can check out this full interview at tunedinpress.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.